Hi guys, so today we're going to go through the June 2020 paper one. Again, just for a bit of revision, this is what we've been doing this week in our class. So here are some numbers. Circle the range. So the range is the difference between the biggest and the smallest. So if the biggest is 17 and the smallest is 5, the difference between those two must be 12. Circle the value of the digit 5 in 256,934. So that 5 is in the 10,000 column. So that 5 is worth 50,000. Minus 2 take away 5. If it's minus 2 degrees outside and it gets 5 degrees colder, that would be minus 7. What is 680 millimetres in centimetres? Circle your answer. So we should know that 1 centimetre equals 10 millimetres. So if I'm going from millimetres to centimetres, I need to divide by 10. So 680 divided by 10 would be 68. Work out the area of shape A to the area of shape B. Give your answer in its simplest form. So I need to find the area of shape A first. So that's 4 by 5. So the area of that is 20. Shape B, well, the area of that bit's 6 and the area of that bit's 6. So the area is 12. So then simplifying down, I could go to 10 to 6, and then I can go again to 5 to 3. So that would be 5 to 3. Samir and Dan run a race. Samir finishes in 2.5 minutes. Dan finishes in 130 seconds. Complete the following sentence. So I think I'm going to need that in seconds. So 1 minute 60 seconds. Another minute would be 60 seconds, and then half of that would be 30 seconds. So in total, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 150 seconds. So Dan does it in 130, Samir does it in 150. So Dan wins because he does it in the shortest time, and he wins by 20 seconds. Alice does a sponsored walk. She starts from home on Monday at 8 a.m. She arrives back home after 55 hours. Work out when she arrives back home. Okay, so 55 hours later. 24 hours would be 1 whole day. 48 hours would be 2 whole days. So I'm pretty sure she's gone for just over 2 days. So let's do 55, take away 48 to find out how many hours are left, which would be 7 hours. So if she's been 2 whole days, it's not going to be Monday anymore. It's going to be Wednesday. And if it's 7 extra hours from 8 o'clock, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's going to be 1500 hours or 3 p.m. Work out 43 times 8. Take away 234 divided by 6. Alright, these bits are in brackets, so I'm going to have to do them first. So 43 times by 8. 8 times 4 is 32, and put 0 on. 8 times 3 is 24, so altogether that is 344. And let's set out our division. So I've got 234 divided by 6. 6 doesn't go into 2, so 0 there, carry our 2 on. 6 is into 23, 6, 12, 18. The next one would be 24, so I can only fit 18 in, which is 3. I got to 18 and I wanted 23, so that's 5 left over. And then 6 is into 54 is 9. So that bit's 344, that bit's 39, so I've got 344 take away 39. So 14 take 9 is 5, 3 take 3 is 0, 3 in there, so 305. Here is some information by ticket type about the number of people visiting a cinema 1 week. How many children visited the cinema? So the pictogram says that that's worth 40, so 40 there. Add another 40 would be 80. Add another 40 would be 120. Add another 40 would be 160. How many more students than adults? So how many more students than adults visited the cinema? Well, there's just these 2 blocks extra for students. Ah, no, that's students and children. Students and adults, got to be careful here. So that'd be 40 for this block. That'd be 40. And then there's half a block missing from here, so that'd be 20. So 40 add 20 would be 100 difference. A bar chart is drawn to show the number of people visiting the cinema 1 month. Give one criticism of the bar chart. Okay, so let's just check. Adults 1,600, that looks right to me. Students 3,000, that looks right to me. Children 1,800, that looks right to me. So what else could be wrong? It's labelled. Okay, so the scale. Up 500, up 500, up 500, up 500. Gone up 1,000 there, haven't we? So, inconsistent scale. Or we could say that the scale's wrong, or it's not going up evenly. Harry will pay income tax if he earns more than 12,500 in a year. After 8 months, he has earned a total of 7,600. For the rest of the year, he earns 1,200 each month. Will he pay income tax? Okay, so that's after 8 months. So there's 12 months in a year, so we must have 4 months left of earning at 1,200 a month. So 4 times 1,000 would be 4,000, 4 times 2 would be 8. So he's got £4,800 left to earn this year. He's already earned 7,600. And he's going to earn another 4,800. Carry the 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this year he's going to earn 12,400. If he earns more than 12,500, he has to pay tax. So does he have to pay tax? No. X is a 2-digit whole number. How many digits does the number 10x have? Circle your answer. Well, let's just give x a value. So let's say that x equals 21. If I times that by 10 for 10x, that'd be 210. So that'd be a 3-digit answer. Circle the answer to 50 times 0.2. Okay, so 50 times 0.2. The way I'd think about it is I just do these digits first. So 5 times 2 is 10. I need a 0 on to count for that 0 there. But then I had one number behind the decimal in the question, so I need one number behind the decimal in my answer. So I think the answer's 10. Also, 0.2 is the same as a fifth, and a fifth of 50 would also equal 10. Work out 3.65 divided by 5. So I'll set this out in the bus stop. 3.65 divided by 5. So how many 5s go into 3? 0. Carry the 3. Decimal there, so there's going to be a decimal there. 5s into 36. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 7 would get me to 35, but there'll be 1 left over. 5s into 13 go 3 times, so that'd be 0.73. The Venn diagram shows information about 50 people who are in bands. So S is the group of singers. G is the group of guitarists. So these people in the middle must both be singers and guitarists. And these people on the outside are neither. So maybe are drummers. How many of the people are guitar players? So I think we've got 21 people that play guitar there and 8 people that play guitar and sing. So that's 29 people that play guitar. How many of the people are singers but not guitar players? All right, well, they sing. They sing as well, but they play guitar, so I don't care about them in this instance. So it's just 4 people that are singers who don't play guitar. One of the people is chosen at random. Write down the probability that the person is not a singer and not a guitar player. Well, all of these people in here are singers or guitar players, so it just must be 17 out of how many people did I have altogether? 50 people. Here is a parallelogram. The parallelogram is translated 4 squares to the left and 3 squares up. Draw the translated parallelogram. So I'm going to put a mark on that corner so I don't forget where I've been counting from. I'm going to go 4 left, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So that will be that corner. So if that's that corner, my shape goes up like that, comes along like that, it would be there. Right, solve 6x minus 11 equals 13. So I'm going to get rid of that minus 11 first by plussing 11. That'll give me 6x equals 24. Then I'm going to divide through by 6, so I get that x equals 4. Right, simplify fully. Looks quite complicated, this one. Got a few bits and bobs going on here. So let's just do it chunk by chunk. 2 lots of 4a would be 8a. That's on its own, so I'm just going to put add 9. 15a divided by 3, well, that would be 5a. And then I've just got the minus 7. 8a plus 5a equals 13a. 9 take away 7 would be plus 2. A pyramid has a square base. Each of the 4 sloping edges has a length of 10 centimetres. Work out the length of all 8 edges. Sorry, the total length of all 8 edges is 68 centimetres. Work out the area of the square base. So if all the edges all together add to 68, and I want to work out the square base, let's get rid of these edges first, the ones that are going up to the point. So 68 take away 10, 20, 30, 40 would be 28. So I've got 28 left to go around the square. So 28 divided by 4 would be 7. So if each side is 7, the area must be 7 times 7, which would be 49. The table shows information about how 150 students travel to school. What fraction of the girls walk to school? Give your answer in its simplest form. So, how many girls walk to school? 22 out of 72. Should simplify this down. Now, they're both even numbers. So half of 22 would be 11. Half of 72 would be 36. So 11 out of 36. One of the boys is chosen at random. What is the probability that the boy travels to school by bus? So the boys, bus is 41 out of 78. Now 41's prime, so unless it goes into 78, I don't need to simplify that. which it doesn't. So 41 out of 78. What percentage of the 150 students travel to school by car? Okay, so how many students come by car? So 17 add 13 would be 30 students. So that's 30 students out of my 150. Now I want to change this to a percentage, so I want to try and get this over 100, don't I? Now it's not easy to get that over 100, so what if I went over 50 by dividing by 3? Divide that by 3, I get 50. Divide that by 3, I'd get 10. So now it's easier to get over 100. So that would be 20 over 100, which is 20%. Straight line passes through O and 2, 6. Circle the equation of the line. All right, well, it can't be that one, because that one would want to go through at 4 on Y, so it's not that one. Y equals 6 would be the line that cuts the y-axis at 6, so it's not that one. Y equals 3x. Now that'd go through the origin, which we've got. If that's my x coordinate and that's my y coordinate, if I put these in, so x is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, so it's that one. That one's working. Work out 110% of 80. Okay, well 10%, we just divide through by 10, don't we? So 10% would be 8. That is 100%, so I just need to add those two together to get 110%, which would be 88. Work out 21 as a fraction of 12. Circle your answer. Okay, so 21 as a fraction of 12. Can I simplify this? Oh, 3's go in, so 7 3's in there, 4 3's in there. Nice. Bags X and Y each contain counters. Bag X has got 30 counters, where the counters are green, white or yellow. Bag Y has got 5 counters with 3 green and 2 red. Probability of a green from X is the same as the probability of a red from Y. Work out the number of green counters in X. Okay, so the probability of a red in Y is 2 out of 5, because we've got 2 red out of 5 counters. If that's the same as the probability of green from over here, then that's going to be out of 30, isn't it? So what do I do to 5 to get 30? Times by 6, so I do the same to the top. So 12 out of 30 be 12 green ones. All 35 counters are put into one bag. One counter is picked at random. Work out the probability that the counter is not red. Okay, so there was no reds in there at all, and there's only 2 reds in there. So out of 35, which is my 2 bags together, 2 of them are red, so there must be 33 that are not red. So 33 out of 35. A and B are scatter graphs. I've got graph A, graph B. What type of correlation is shown by each graph? So this one's coming down, so that's negative. Its points are all really tight together, so that is strong negative. And this one's scattered about everywhere. There's not really a line of best fit, is there? So that one is no correlation. All the terms of a geometric progression are positive. The second and fourth terms are shown. Work out the first and third terms. Okay, so geometric means a timesing. So it's a timesing sequence. So from there to there, that's times 4. So from there to there, that must be times 2. 4, 8, 16. That seems to be working. So going the other way, that one must be 2. So the first term would be 2 and the third term would be 8. The first two terms of an arithmetic progression are shown. So I've got p, 5p. The sum of the first three terms is 90. Work out the value of p. Right, well, what am I going up in? Because these arithmetic sequences always go up in the same thing. So that's going up by 4p. So I think that one would be 9p. So if the first three terms add to 90, that's 9p plus 5p plus p, which would be 15p. And we know that that equals 90. So if I divide through by 15, tell me that p is equal to 6. The formula converts temperature in degrees Fahrenheit to Kelvin. So I've got K equals 5/9 of F minus 32 plus 273. A pottery oven is heated to 2192 degrees Fahrenheit. Work out this temperature in Kelvin. Right, so I'll have to do the brackets bit first, won't I? So let's have 2192 minus my 32. 2 take 2, nothing. 9 take 3 is 6. So that bit is 2160. Then I want 5/9 of that, don't I? So I need to divide that by 9. So 2160 divided by 9. 9s into 2 don't go. Carry the 2. 9s into 21 go twice, which would be 18. So 19, 20, 21. 3 left over. 9s into 36 go 4 times. 9s into 0. We'll just pop a 0 there. So 1/9 would be 240. So if I want 5/9, I need to do this times 5. So let's have 240 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 zeros to put on. 5 times 4 is 20 with 1 0 to put on. So 5/9 of that would be 1200. So I've done all of that bit now. I just need to add on my 273. So let's add on 273. 3741. So 1473. As a decimal, 11/40 is equal to 0.275. Work out 33/400 as a decimal. Okay. So, if we ignore that for a minute and I just think about 33/40, this is 3 times more than this. So let's times that by 3. So 0.275 times 3. Well, that would be 0.825. Now that is equal to that. How do I go from there to there? Well, that's been divided by another lot of 10, hasn't it? So if I divide that by 10, the decimal would move back 1, and I'd have 0.0825. The cost of a holiday is £2,400. Rana pays a deposit followed by monthly payments in the ratio of 3 to 5. She makes 6 equal monthly payments. Work out her total monthly payment. Okay, so how many parts have I got here together? So 5, 6, 7, 8 parts. So let's find out what one part is worth by doing our 2,400 divided by 8. So 8s into 2 don't go, carry the 2. 8s into 24 go 3 times. So one part's worth 300. So 3 parts for the deposit must be £900. And then I've got 5 parts of monthly payment So that's 5 times 300, which would be £1,500. She makes 6 equal monthly payments. Work out her monthly payment. So if she's paying that in chunks of 6, that'd be 1,500 divided by 6. 6 into 1 doesn't go, carry the 1. 6 into 15 goes twice, which would be 12, 13, 14, 15. 3 left over. 6 into 30 goes 5 times. 6 into 0, 0. So that'd be £250 per payment. Factorise fully. So for factorising, we're looking to put it back into brackets. The biggest thing that goes into 2 and 6 would be 2. The biggest thing that goes into x squared and x would be x. So 2x times something to get 2x squared, well, that'd be x. 2x times something else to get 6x must be 3. So we've got 2x bracket x plus 3. Two wire shapes make an earring. The two shapes are a circle with a radius of 21 millimeters. Right, let's draw that straight on so that's easier to see. So that's 21 millimeters. And a quarter circle down here. The radius of the circle to the radius of the quarter circle is 7 to 2. Show that the radius of the quarter circle is 6 millimeters. Right, so if that's worth 7 parts, let's find out what one bit would be worth. So we'll do 21 divided by 7, which will get me 3. So that's 1 part. So 3 times 2 for my 2 parts here would be 6. So I know that that bit is 6 millimeters. Work out the total length of the wire in the earring. Give your answer in the form a lots of pi plus b, where a and b are integers. Okay, so let's have a look at the big circle first. If I want the circumference, which is what it is, isn't it, that's making up that earring, that would be pi times diameter. So for the big one, the radius is 21, the diameter will be 42, so the big one will be pi times 42, which I'm just going to call 42 pi. Don't need to worry about what pi is, it's not a calculator paper, so they don't expect us to know. Right, so the small one, if the radius is 6, the diameter must be 12. So if it was a full circle, it would be pi times 12. But it's not, it's a quarter circle, so I'm going to need to divide my answer by 4. Pi times 12 is 12 pi, divided by 4 is 3 pi. But that's just the curved bit, isn't it? That's that bit there. So also, I've got a 6 millimeter radius there and a 6 radius there. Nearly said radiator. So 6 mil plus 6 mil is going to equal 12 mil. So I've got those two for my amounts of pi. So 42 plus 3 is 45 lots of pi. And then the 12 for my 2 radiuses there. Use trigonometry to work out the size of angle x. Right, so first off, let's label the triangle. That's the hypotenuse, that's the opposite, that's the adjacent. So, cat, tower. I know the hypotenuse and the adjacent, so I'm going to be using cos. So, cos of that angle that I don't know is equal to the adjacent, which is 9, divided by 18. So cos of the angle gives the answer of a half, cancelling that down. So if you know your trig ratios, we should know that cos of the angle, which gives us cos half, would be 60 degrees. Right, rearrange C equals D plus 2 divided by 3 to make D the subject. So that means I want D left on its own. So first thing, let's get rid of this divide by 3 by timesing by 3. Give me 3c equals d plus 2. And then I can get d on its own if I get rid of that add 2. So let's take away 2. 3c minus 2 equals d. So now d is the subject. So d equals 3c minus 2. Right, 360,000 in standard form. Right, so it's going to be 3.6, isn't it? Because my number at the front can't be bigger than 10, so 3.6 times 10 to the power of, how many times am I going to move this decimal? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So 3.6 times 10 to the 5. And then final question, write 9.2 times 10 to the minus 3 as an ordinary number. So I'd write 9.2. I need to move my decimals 3 times to the left. So 1, 2, 3, it's going to end up there. So 0.0092. Cheers guys, hope this helped.